Hey y'all, welcome back to another new video. Before we jump into it today, I just have like a few little housekeeping things to talk about. So first of all, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel but you're watching this video, it would mean the world to me if you would hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I post, you should hit that little like bell notification button just so that you know when I post. And also, if you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you would like it at the end. That just really helps out the YouTube algorithm, I found out. And if you're not following me on TikTok, which I'm sure most of you came here from my TikTok, so you probably are, but if you're not, you should follow me because I'm so close to 100K. I think I'm at like 96K right now, and once I hit 100K, I am going to be doing another giveaway, so that's exciting. And I also opened an Etsy shop. I'll have it linked down below, so make sure you check that out too. And okay, so we can jump into the video. We are continuing with our first Wizarding War series. I think this is part like 6 or 5, so if you haven't seen the other previous parts, I would go check them out because this video might not make much sense if you weren't all caught up. But today we are talking about the skirmish at the Horcrux cave, and so this is going to be a little bit of a shorter video because I'm just sort of dividing it up in the ways that I feel like make sense, which is why some of the videos are shorter and some of them are longer in this series. This is going to be a short one. Okay. So it is 1979 where we are picking the story back up. And we are really focusing on Regulus Black in this video. So if you don't remember, Regulus Black is Sirius Black's brother. So Regulus Black has graduated Hogwarts in 1979 and immediately joins the Death Eaters. He becomes a Death Eater. And he, at this time, really held those pure blood supremacist beliefs that the Black family all held. Sirius had already rebelled against them, but Regulus Black still sort of believes in them. But quickly he became disenchanted by just how like brutal and intense Voldemort was, and he started to realize that maybe he didn't actually think those things, and maybe that's just sort of how he'd been raised or socialized. So Regulus Black is sort of becoming disenchanted with this whole Death Eater, pureblood supremacist lifestyle. And at the same time, Voldemort is feeling the need to test how secure his Horcruxes were. So Voldemort hasn't told anyone that he has these Horcruxes, but basically, to make sure that the locket was secure, so remember that the locket is in that like disgusting potion in the cave surrounded by the Inferi. So to test how secure it is, he took Regulus's house elf, the Black family house elf creature, and he took him out to the cove, the little cave where it was stored to test the defenses. And basically he left creature there to die. They didn't know it was a Horcrux, they just knew it was something important. And he left creature there to die. Like, he took him out there, had him drink the potion, and then just left him there to see if the Inferi could get him, I guess. But what Voldemort didn't realize, because he's just so arrogant, he doesn't even like think about all the factors. So what he doesn't realize is that house elves can apparate away from places that wizards can't. So he'd obviously set spells around it to make sure nobody could apparate from it, but house elves can apparate from places that wizards can't, which is why Creature was able to apparate away from the cave, similar to how Dobby was able to apparate in and out of Malfoy Manor. So Creature was able to apparate away and survive, and obviously he told Regulus, his owner, what had happened. And Regulus basically deduced, I mean, we don't really know all the details of how he figured it out, but basically from Creature's story, he figured that what Voldemort was creating must be a Horcrux, so he realizes what Voldemort is doing. So Regulus decides that he wants to try and destroy the locket. So him and Creature go back out to the cove, and this time Regulus drinks the potion, gives the locket to Creature, replaces it with a fake one, and Creature apparates away, and he basically tells him to like try and destroy it. But Regulus unfortunately doesn't survive. He is dragged to his death by those Inferi, and he dies like a pretty violent and horrible death. But I mean, as sad as that is, I do think he made like a good turnaround. Like, he changed his ways, and he went from being on like the bad side to trying to do the right thing. So I mean, he died, but like he died trying to do the right thing. And so everywhere else in the wizarding world, life is going on. I mean, everyone's living in terror, and it's the midst of a war, but you know, life has to sort of continue chugging along, kind of similar to how like life goes on during this pandemic. And so Dumbledore is the headmaster at Hogwarts still, and he has actually made sure that Hogwarts has remained a really safe place to get an education. And so Hogwarts at this point is completely untouched by Death Eaters, which is amazing. And actually, which kind of makes sense, marriages and births were really common during this period because people just weren't sure about the future. So if they were in love, they weren't thinking twice about it. They were getting married, they were having a kid, because I mean, they didn't know if they were going to be alive in a few years or even a few months. So July of 1980 rolls around, and Lily and James give birth to Harry on the last day of July in 1980, and Frank and Alice Longbottom give birth to Neville. And around this same time, the Death Eaters Lucius and Narcissa Malfoy give birth to Draco Malfoy, and Crabbe Sr. and Goyle Sr. give birth to their respective sons. And also Bellatrix Black marries Rodolphus Lestrange, therefore becoming Bellatrix Lestrange. And they didn't actually love each other. Bellatrix is like in love with Tom Riddle Voldemort. They just wanted to make sure that they could get married and could get married to other purebloods. And so that's actually where we are going to end the story for today. And so make sure you check back on Saturday for the next part. And if you enjoyed, it would really mean a lot to me if you would like and subscribe. Check out all the links in my bio, leave a comment, you know, all of that. And until next time, bye y'all.